Why so glum on Microsoft? What are you looking at for this quarter?
You know, for this quarter, we're not glum. We believe there's some risk in Microsoft stock that's not accounted for in the stock, but for this quarter, actually, we think you should see a pretty good quarter, especially because you just had PC numbers come out, PC shipments, which actually grew for the first time in 6 years. Microsoft's Windows business still tracks, it used to, at least historically, it's tracked very closely to PC shipments. It's actually outperformed PC shipments over the last 2.5 years, but prior to that, the 25 years before that, it tracked really closely. If it outperforms again, you could see some really good bottom line results out of Microsoft. And Windows accounts, we think, for more than 1/3 of the profit of the company. So, you know, we're not looking for glum results out of Microsoft today. But going forward, so what are the headwinds? Because in the short term, it seems like the headwinds are the trade overhang, competition, as well as that stronger dollar. Walk me through why you are the most bearish on the street then. Yeah, so there's really 3 tenets to our negative call on Microsoft. So the first is PC shipments. A lot of industry analysts have looked for this to improve over time. We just saw this as a secularly challenged market. And like I said, Windows is tied to that, or at least it has been. And it's a big part of the profit of Microsoft, so we saw that as one challenge. The second reason has to do with Azure, the thing that people love about Microsoft. Listen, Azure is going to grow. Cloud's going to grow. We're not negative on cloud. It's a great thing. It's good for everybody. It's good for customers. It's good for vendors. The one issue, though, there is some risk here for Microsoft, and that is because in the on-premise world for the small to medium business, they are the dominant vendor for infrastructure software, which is the equivalent on-premise world for Azure. As you move to the cloud, there's competition. It's not just Microsoft. There's AWS, who's the leader. There's Google Cloud Platform, perhaps. Maybe there's others. Microsoft goes from a domination on-prem to competition. And by the way, AWS is the leader. And they can be, and probably will continue to be, less price sensitive. You're going to see margin impact to Microsoft over time. People look at Azure and they say this is just like AWS, and it's going to grow like the AWS, and it's going to have similar margins to AWS. Yeah. We think there's a high risk that that doesn't happen, that the margins are much lower for Azure than people realize. That's going to play out over years. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked too well for our stock.
Right.
Our stock call.